Amid the taxicabs and traffic jams, New York City can appear to be nothing but noise and movement. Nonetheless, art students were able to stop and reflect during their visit to the 9/11 Memorial in Highline Park. The field trip was formed so that students could better grasp the reasons for art and get inspired for their own work. According to AP photography teacher Jean McDonough, it was the nearby location and high impact on our community that made the trip an important experience.
Most of these students were in nursery school when 9/11 occurred, so it's touching base with the stories they've heard and coming full circle with actually being here.
Though still in construction, the 9/11 Memorial features 2 completed pools, each located where a tower once stood. Around these pools are paths and benches, as well as the only surviving tree from the attack. Just outside the enclosure, visitors can see the breathtaking Freedom Tower, which isn't yet finished. The memorial left an impression on senior Kaylin Lysenko.
I think they actually did a really good job at honoring the people that either died because of it or that served, so I think it's really cool.
For senior Annie Fox, who interned at Voices in 9/11 this past summer, the memorial was as much personal as it was emotional.
I saw firsthand the effects of 9/11 on a family, and I feel like it's really important to never forget and to keep the spirit of these people alive. And they all have lives, and we can't forget them, and we have to pay respect to them. And I think that's why we're here, and I think that's why memorializing them with photography and stuff is a really good idea.
Students, such as senior Izzy Shipper, were at first overcome by all the different elements of the memorial.
I guess the thing that struck me most was the vastness of it. It's just sort of, I think the scale, the fact that these 2, I guess they're called pools, are so big, sort of made me realize, I guess the tragedy of it. It's like weird because normally you think about it in a very arbitrary way, but coming here, it's sort of brought to light how sort of terrible this thing was.
After the emotional art from the 9/11 Memorial, the students headed over to the High Line. Once an above-ground railroad line, the High Line was changed into a park in 2006. It is now filled with gardens, seating areas, and many types of public art. Art teacher Lisa Florishak-Winman hoped that this part of the trip would help her classes understand that there is more than one reason to create public art.
Because I wanted them to explore the differences of public art. There's public art that's memorial and dedicated installation, and then there's public art that is done for other reasons. And I wanted them to explore that difference.
According to junior Mary Kate Conron, the sculptures around the High Line helped her better understand how she wants to approach creating sculptures in the future.
Well, it was really inspirational to see all of the sculptures and how they're all honored on this walkway. So now it makes me think about how I could make myself be better and be like these people that have been featured on this.
Besides the subject matter, students like junior Miles Henderson felt that they were exposed to different types of materials that go into making a sculpture.
I think that seeing all the different varieties of sculptures that we got to see today is going to just widen the palette of what materials I can use or how high I should build them or even what they should look like.
Whether it be the 9/11 Memorial or the High Line, each class plans to use this field trip as inspiration for their own artwork. Ms. McDonough hopes to compile photographs the AP photo students took that day and share them with the community. Similarly, Ms. Winman wants her classes to create sculptures based on what stood out to them on the trip. Ultimately, the 9/11 Memorial and the High Line were a means of reflection, not just on public art, but also on how both joyful and tragic change can inspire different forms of expression.